How to have better control over your life. In this video, I'm going to share with you the two key concepts that are going to help you to understand how to have better control over your life. You see, in life, we only have control over certain things. And if you break it down and you look at all psychology and all theology throughout time, we realize that we only control one thing. We only control our thoughts. We don't control other people. We don't control other circumstances. We don't control anything outside of us except for our thoughts. We actually don't even control what's going on inside of our bodies right here, right now. Your food is likely digesting. Your heart is pumping. Your lungs are expanding and contracting. Your eyes are blinking. These are things that are all automatic. So we have so many things that are running automatically for us, including what's going on in our life and around the world, that we don't recognize that the only thing that we can control is our thoughts. And more so, our thoughts create our feelings. There's a cycle. Our thoughts create our feelings turn on emotions cause us to act, and then we'll get a reaction, and we'll either continue repeating those actions and having those same thoughts, or we won't. But the moment you do something that's scary and you do it for the first time, you have a thought like, I'm going to go and talk to this person that I've never talked to before, and they're so big and so powerful. And then you go and speak with them, and then you get the confidence because they responded back well. You know, you had the thought, you had the feeling, you got emotional about it, and you're like, I'm going to go and talk to them. And I'm going to just go and meet them and talk with them and not be concerned about how fast my heart is beating or how scary this feels. And then once you do that, you develop more courage. And it's the reason why I met people like Bob Proctor, Dave Blanchard, the CEO of Augmendino, Tony Robbins, even the actor who played Roscoe Pico-Train on the Dukes of Hazzard. I met him when I was young and I was at a hotel, and the Harlem Globetrotters were there. I met them. You know, it just I developed this courage and this confidence that I could go and meet anybody and talk to anyone. It didn't matter that I was afraid. I just did it. So coming back to the core concept here is that your thoughts are creating your things, and you have more control over that. And if psychologists had a term or two terms, and these are the two things you're going to want to write down, if they had a term for what was causing your problems, it would be called resistance mode. You think about it, it's like a bent hose. The hose is bent, the water's not going through. You can turn up the volume on the water and hope that more will go through, or you can open it up. And so that's resistance. That's what your life is like. It's like a bent hose. You're resisting. Why? Because you are afraid. Your fear and being afraid causes you not to do things. So you get into resistance mode. You pause. You get paralyzed. You have analysis paralysis, and you wait and you wonder and you think, man, maybe this isn't for me, or maybe it's something for later, or I should wait, or there's something better coming, and you talk yourself out of it. So there's resistance going on. So that's one perspective. That's one way of looking at things. You could resist and see what happens, or you could get into receptive mode. That's like we take the hose, we unbend it, the water starts flowing through, and you start seeing things differently. And as soon as you start seeing things differently, then you change your perception. That's one of your mental faculties. So you change your perception of the world around you, and you start thinking, wow, I can get the things I want. The world is giving me the things I want. People are coming and helping me and supporting me. And this is working out well. And you develop confidence and courage. And ultimately, you develop faith. So when you're in resistance mode, you have zero or next to no faith. When you're in receptive mode, you have faith. You step forward. You are confident. You're courageous. You're bold. You do things that you need to do to get the things done. And these circumstances happen in our lives, but not daily, not typically. So you might run into a situation where you need to, get your car out of the ditch, and you need to get out fast because you have someplace to go. You have a destination to go, and you land in the ditch. And true story, I was in the ditch when I was a teenager. My mother's in the car beside me. We just slid in the ditch because it was icy. And because we needed to get to our destination quickly and solve this problem quickly, within minutes, a Jeep pulls up with a winch on the front and towed us out. And you might say, well, hey, that was just luck. And yeah, maybe you could say it was luck, but it was more of a necessity. We needed it. And you might say, well, that's manifestation. So then manifestation is more receptive. You're being more receptive. So if you want to manifest things, which means you want to create things in your life, you want to have things happen, then you have to turn your mind towards what you want. You have to think into results, as Bob Proctor taught me. You can think in results or you can think in reverse. If you were a fighter pilot flying a jet, would you be looking in the mirror, looking back behind you? Not unless you were being attacked. Otherwise, you're looking forward. Why? Because you're flying pretty fast and you got to make sure that you don't run into anything. And so that's what you need to do, is thinking the results. Think into the thing you want. Think towards what you want. And you do that just with your words and thoughts alone. And if you're not sure how to do this, ask questions. You can ask yourself questions and turn on your reticular activating system. That's called the RAS, and that's a psychological term. It's your RAS. You can turn that on and invite the kinds of things that you want in your life. So you could say, what opportunities are before me today? What goodness is coming my way? What can I take advantage of today? What simple steps can I take today to move towards my goals? The things I love, the things I want. What can I do today to be a better person? What can I do to be a better parent, a better husband or wife, or a better leader, or a better coach, or a better business leader? These are the kinds of things that you can ask yourself and then move your mind in the right direction. And then use gratitude to your benefit. An attitude of gratitude has so much power. You wouldn't believe how much power it has. It turns your mind in the right direction right away. So if you're having problems in your life, you might just look around and ask yourself, well, what can I appreciate right now? Who do I have in my life? What are the kinds of things I have in my life? You can play a game if you want. I learned this from Dr. Benjamin Hardy. You can play a game where you think about the things that you don't have. And you think about the things that you have now, but you don't have them. So you think into the future and you picture yourself not having those things anymore. And you start realizing how valuable they are and how much you have and how much power you have. There are so many opportunities for appreciation that you could compare yourself easily just by driving down the street. You could see a homeless person. You could say, well, look at them. Look at the clothes they're wearing and the lack of money and lack of power and lack of potential and lack of a house to live in. They have so much less than you do. And if you compared yourself for 2 seconds, you would realize how much power you have. So the key here is, how do you get into receptive mode? Because most of us are in resistance mode. About 80% or more of our thoughts every day are based on fear and doubt and worry and the kinds of things that we don't want. We're inviting those things into our life just by reflecting on them and looking around at our world and saying, oh, this is not so good, or this could be better, or look at that person, look what they're doing, I don't like that. You start blaming, complaining, and you become a victim as a result of that. You get caught in this victim loop, this spiral where you're blaming, complaining, denying, lying, hiding. Those are the kinds of things that a victim does. And you can't be a victor or be intentional by doing those things. You can't have one toe dipped in one pool and then trying to do something else. So you need to be intentional about your life. You need to take responsibility. You need to become aware. You need to think about what you want, focus on what you want, talk about what you want, write about what you want. Just do a little bit. If you like writing, then write down the things that you want. If you don't like writing, then say them out loud. If you don't like saying them out loud, say them silently. Do something that's going to turn your mind towards what you want. Get out of resistance mode. Move into receptive mode. Unkink that hose and let the water flow. That's how you move forward. That's how things happen in this world. We see it all the time. We see it even in sports. We see somebody who does something amazing in sports, let's say on the soccer field. They play an amazing game and they get pumped up. The whole audience is behind them. Their team is behind them. Their confidence, their courage gets boosted up. And then the next game can get better and better and better to a point where they reach their peak. And then what do they do at that point? Now they probably, do something else in their life. They retire from that sport and they do something else. But the thing is, if you could just get into momentum just a little bit, do a little something, and listen for the feedback that you're getting. If people are saying, that's wonderful, you're amazing, you're smart, you're intelligent, and that was great, then take that feedback and appreciate it and know that the world is not happening to you, it's responding to you. So if you're looking for the evidence of things that are happening in your life, then look for them and expect them and appreciate them. Don't ignore them. People are going to give you feedback. You'll see it all the time. If you're running into people that are angry and anxious and upset, then guess what? They are aligned with you in some way or another. There's a polarity going on. You're drawing them towards you. You're in resistance mode, and your resistance is attracting the problems that are going to cause it to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, like a pressure cooker, until it gets to the point where you need to do something about it. And at that point, you have a problem that needs a solution. Right now, you might be in a situation where you can ask questions and seek an answer. That's a totally different mindset. When you have problems and you can seek the solutions, that means you are outside of the threshold of that pressure cooker. You are now outside of it, and you can ask questions so that you can avoid getting inside of the danger zone. Because once you're in that danger zone, you'll get sucked in. It's like a vortex. Things will start going wrong, and you'll start feeling bad, and things will get worse and worse and worse. So don't do that. Get out of resistance mode. Get into receptive mode. Shift your mind. Start looking for the good things. Appreciate the little things. And then think about the things you want. Write about the things you want. Talk about the things you want. Share them with your loved ones. Share them with your spouse. Share them with your business partner. Share them with people who can help you to build this up, so that you build it up to the point where it's stronger than your fears, doubts, and worries. And then you will step forward. So you have this power within you, and you can take control over it. And all that it starts with is one single thought. Just a thought that I can, and I believe in myself, and I trust myself, and I'm going to make sure that I move forward. Why? Because it's important to me. It's important that I do good things today, and that I feel good, and I move forward and step forward, and you will change your perception of things. The world will look different. It will feel different. Things will come to you because you have a different mindset, and you have different vibration as a result. Your energy field, your focus, your attention, it's going to draw the kinds of things that you want towards you. So there is an easy way to get into receptive mode, and it's simply by focusing what you want. Write down 3 things that you want right now. Write down these 3 things that you want, and those 3 things should matter to you. And they are things that are going to likely be with your relationship, perhaps your income, your business, and your health. Focus on 3 things that you want in those key areas. Write them down right now. Get them down. Put them someplace where you can see them and focus on them, and then talk about these things and focus on how you can build them and what kinds of opportunities would cause them to get even better and better and better. So, like I'm saying, you have this power, you have this potential, and you can do it. All you have to do is just get started and just write these 3 things down. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on my next video. Bye.